The Pascagoula River stretches more than 80 miles across coastal Mississippi, and for some, it's home.
We've been here at this particular spot for about 15 years, but I was born right up the road. I've been here all my life, and I'm 72.
But they have worries about what's really lurking beneath the surface.
Well, if they don't, then you see paper floating in the water, and we don't want that.
The Mississippi Department of Marine Resources says houseboats without sewage tanks are dumping waste into the river, a violation of state and federal law.
Well, you got the kids that swim out here in the water, and you don't want your kids swimming in that stuff,
But state agencies say enforcement is tough, and without enough resources, there's no easy fix. At the local level, houseboat communities like the one at Pascagoula Boat Landing are stepping up.
And you can't park a houseboat in here unless you have the system on it. Everybody has to keep their sewage system up because Greg comes and inspects it and looks at it.
Greg Goff oversees the site and enforces proper sewage disposal compliance among its residents, ensuring no raw sewage gets dumped into the water.
And as far as I'm concerned, we're not going to have that here. And I'm going to make sure of that.
Longtime residents like Wake and Abinette say raw sewage is more than just unpleasant. It's unsafe.
There's all kind of diseases related with raw sewage and stuff like that. And as Greg said earlier, that there's swimming. Everybody swims down here. They jump off of their houseboats. The kids play up and down through here, and we just want to keep it clean. It's just seems like the world don't really care what they dump in the water anymore. But we start right here with ourselves and keep it clean and encourage everybody else too.
These concerns surfaced during meetings of the Mississippi Advisory Commission on Marine Resources, first last summer and again this year. The big questions: who's responsible for enforcing state law, and is the sewage problem as widespread as some believe? That led us to Chris Wells, Executive Director of the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality. He says enforcement depends on location.
We require marinas to have wastewater management facilities, and an individual houseboat or an individual any kind of boat that is up and down a river or any kind of water body, that's a little bit more of a difficult situation.
Wells says MDEQ isn't structured like other enforcement agencies.
DEQ does not have, we don't have patrolmen. We don't have people on patrol. We're driving around looking to write people tickets. We certainly don't have people on boats patrolling waterways. That's just not the way we're not structured that way, and we don't have those kind of resources.
Instead, the department relies on complaints, which are few and far between, with 0 complaints filed in the last 6 months.
If somebody's on the river somewhere in a rural area or a remote area, the likelihood of us seeing it and being able to take action on it is very slim. If we receive a complaint and we investigate that complaint and find evidence of it, then we can take enforcement action under that statute.
Wells also questions whether the issue is as widespread as MDMR believes.
On some level, at the end of the day, the question is, what impact does it have? That's really, we don't want people doing it. We want to put the word out that they don't need to be doing it. They shouldn't be doing it. It's a violation of law, so don't do it. But then the question becomes, is it rampant enough to be causing a water quality issue, big picture?
Since 2016, MDEQ has sampled the water of the Pascagoula River near Van Cleve 53 times. Of those 53 samples, only 4 contained levels of E. coli that would be deemed unsafe for recreation. That is why DEQ maintains that their available data does not indicate a problem, but still, MDMR believes the risk warrants action.
And when you think about that, well, there's a lot of houseboats that have no way to be able to have sanitation or anything on them. And these are all up and down our rivers.
The Pascagoula River Basin is the state's second largest, draining 9,600 square miles before reaching the Gulf. That's where beach advisories sometimes point to contamination in coastal waters. While agencies can't confirm whether that bacteria comes from the river, houseboat owners say they don't want to take the chance.
Well, this is one of the last unobstructed river systems in this part of the world. It's unspoiled, and we just want to keep it unspoiled.
MDMR already manages 18 pump-out stations along the coast and 9 more at inland sites for boaters to use. But the closest one to Pascagoula Boat Landing is in Pascagoula, more than 20 miles away. Now the state agency is proposing a mobile sewage barge, a service that could travel 2 houseboats and pump waste for a fee.
We want to try to find a way to be able to buy the sanitation part for that, and then have what some type of way of cleaning it. This will stop a lot of raw sewage going into our rivers and which in turn gets down to our Gulf.
Reporting for the Roy Howard Community Journalism Center, I'm Justin Glowacki.